up, Bumkiller? What's up, Osborne? Hello. Hello, the good people of chat. And Pancake and Emperor Heaven and Opposite. How do you feel about the PTS news? I didn't even see the PTS news. Hold on. We're not having one. I said it was too early to tell like a day ago, so. There's no PTS. That makes sense because they're probably behind. They're probably majorly behind. They're on consoles, so no PTS. So it's probably gonna be a pretty big patch then, I'd imagine. What's up, Chief? How are things? Oh, we're rocking it. No PTS means it's probably gonna be a pretty big patch. Either that or they were very much behind. Okay. Get this ready. It seems to be behind. It said patch isn't ready this month. Yeah. The Tech Marine came out later than they expected, but patch 13 is also adding in more stuff, and they said the updated roadmap's gonna be pretty big, so I imagine we're either gonna get like a year 3 announcement at Skulls next month, or the bigger issue is that they're too lazy. Well, I wouldn't say it's only a laziness issue on that kind of thing, because like how the fuck, it's more like a top-down brass thing at that point. Let's see. So, we also have news that the community update is going to have the Infiltrator helmet back, which tells me they're recycling content on the helmets again, because all of these helmets were supposed to come into this section here eventually, or like all of the limited time cosmetics. But you know what I think is happening, guys? I think they actually don't have limited time cosmetics to add. Like, they don't have enough cosmetics to add to here without like recycling them for Twitch drops and stuff like that, so they're holding off and adding them, which is pretty funny.
It is a shame the chapter master had to leave us.
First of all, what's a PTS? It's a public test server. But for like, the only other patch that didn't have a PTS was like prior to patch 7, and then patch 10 didn't have one either because it was like really big and they just wanted to push it out. Hopefully there was a lot more to do in 13, knocked everything out a week or two, and a week for 12, just went to play other games. I doubt there will be. I really doubt there will be. Not playing with viewers today, brother? Probably. Maybe we will later, but not right now. Yeah, they're bringing back the Infiltrator helmet at least, and like players really wanted that shit, so that is good. Like, that is something players definitely wanted in the game. This is probably the most sought after helmet in Space Marine 2. Here's from the proper thing. Dark Angels for the Lion. I think I'll play Raven Guard, actually. I didn't even put on the right arm color here. It's weird it wasn't in the game from the start. I mean, there's a lot of things that weren't in the game from the start. I think Space Marine 2 is in a way better spot than it was before. On the note of what's coming out for the game, I mean, I don't think patch 13 is gonna be bigger than patch 12. I just don't. I mean, maybe in terms of like some things, but like there's not. You'd have to do a lot to add a new class in the game. Patch 12 is probably gonna be the biggest patch this game sees for a long time. That's the one they've also been hyping up for like 7 months, you know. Understand how you've been today, FCG? Oh, we're great. I'm busy. Yeah, no PTS for 13. I saw that. Yep. We are getting a community event next week, also a community update, so there's that. I hope the patch will come sooner since there is no PTS, so we want to have the new Chaos boss like wrote. I'm retiring, finding only the Hellbrute. I mean, yeah, you'll have it next month, but it's not coming out this month, that's for sure. New patch is next month, I'd almost promise you. If there's no PTS, we don't have to wait a month for like any changes. I mean, it's gonna come out buggy as fuck though, we'll say that. Do you play other 40k games or just SM2? Yeah, I play other 40k games, not a lot right now, because there's not much reason to. Most of them are pretty old. But I played Space Hulk Deathwing, I'll be playing Total War 40k, I played Dawn of War Definitive Edition a little bit. But on impact speak.
Activating war gear. Buckle terrain. Ravener activity. Ravener destroy. Battle power unleashed.
Or, 5 business day reload time.
Neutralize the Xenos behemoth. Executing countermeasures. Readying next volley.
Bang, 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 bang. Alright, should be good.
Let the Codex demand it. Reloading. Remain on guard. Showing through approach. Inserting fresh magazine. It dug its own grave.
A little gross with the Ravener there.
Increasing
Should be easy now, though. Okay. We're a little low to actually kill this guy, but that'll make it easier.
Zoanthrope will not be troubling us any further.
What's up, FTG? How's it going? Am I the only one who thinks you should be able to get accolades from other things in the game? I mean, like what? You're gonna get them in Siege mode. You get them in the majority of the content. I mean, hard strats is where most players are playing now. Or not even hard strats, just stratagems. Unless you're playing like the normal mode to level. I would say the majority of content in this game at this point is in stratagems. The end of the month update may have the patch 13 release date. I mean, almost certainly will. I don't think you would even really need a release date for it. If they're not having a PTS, it just means it's coming for May, almost guaranteed. I can see no other reason they'd skip if that wasn't the case, because they probably want to launch it alongside Warhammer Skulls, just to have more hype for it. If they had Accolades of Siege with that patch 13 thing, it's a patch 13 thing. I have a feeling they might be combining the patch 13 or patch 15 new map with patch 13, because if they just release a Siege mode update with no new map, I think players will get pretty bored. There's nothing to spend them on. There's a lot to spend your accolades on in this game. Just not if you've been playing the entire time. It would take you weeks to get all of the items now if you were to start.
Changing magazine.
Patch 13 next week? No. There's a community update next week. Patch 13 is probably next month in May. There you go. What's the spec? Community event news? There's going to be a community event coming out like next week for the Infiltrator helmet I'm wearing right now. It is coming. Alright.
We cannot backtrack. Take all you can carry.
The nice thing about Vanguard is if you build all damage reduction and armor restoration, even if you're this low with a melter rifle, you can go up to 30% over and over on the rapid health recovery.
Inserting fresh
And you're kind of just chilling. You're very tanky. I love grapnel body blocks. What faction would you like to see in Space Marine 3? I would love to see Orcs and Tyranids. I mean, I imagine, I've seen people say we're not going to see Tyranids in Space Marine 3. I don't think that's likely at all, because Tyranid, first of all, they have all the assets in this game for Tyranids already. You're probably going to see Thousand Suns again, too, to some degree. Unless they just, like, completely scrap them. They might do a different Chaos factions, and so they would only have to recolor and add a few more things to the assets. They have to do a lot more than that. They would definitely do a lot more than that. Like, Thousand Suns do not play the same at all as, like, most Chaos factions. Also, like, the majority of Chaos at this point is, like, Cultists and fucking Zangors at this point, so, that's a little annoying. Orcs and Space Marine 1 were pretty fun, not gonna lie. They were definitely fun. I mean, you know, it's a horde shooter. If they add in more mechanics for ranged enemies, that would be better overall, I feel. Will it be possible chain axe will be added? I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible, you know. In this game, though, probably not. It sucks for not getting a PTS. I mean, I'd rather a full patch release than a PTS anyways.
Our orders are clear. Advance. Quieter than I expected.
Because otherwise, if we had a PTS for this one, it'd be like, okay, we get a PTS, and then we're going to get an entire month break again, and then we're going to need to get a brand new patch.
We must first awaken all of the consoles. Inserting fresh magazine.
Yeah, but it's going to be bugged as hell. I mean, patch 10 wasn't that buggy. No more buggy than like every other patch. I feel like a lot of the time when they push out the PTS in this game, they just leave in game-breaking bugs on purpose because they're like, whatever, we'll fix it in post, you know? But if they launch an official patch, it doesn't usually have like a god-awful game-breaking bug. For the most part, I can't really think of one. Well, there was at least one in one of the patches, but like the Tech Marine PTS had a contested health bug, and we haven't really seen that much. Something like that really come into the main game as often, even without a PTS, unlike patch 10. Your jungle out of here.
Nothing but We are to fix this. We must destroy the spores that spawn these vines. It shall spread its damn pollution no more. Battle power unleashed. Strike it down with it. Activating war gear. Their numbers are increasing responsibility. Unregistered biological matter present. Synaptic service.
Alright, there we go. Worst bug is when you can't shoot your sidearm. Well, that's been in the game forever. Worst bug is actually the parry bug, where your parry just fades through attacks. And you get no perfect parry or perfect block. That can straight up kill you. That alone kind of makes this game's like skill expression go down dramatically. Because like if one of your fundamental game systems is not working or only working like 80%, 90% of the time, that's pretty bad. When is patch 13 expected to be released? May. So next month. Definitely not this month.
Console operational. Connection to core controls established.
Precisely what we needed.
Just don't get the 10% not working parry. Yeah, I mean, like... Don't worry, guys. The brakes on your car only work 90% of the time. You'll be fine.
Transmission of blessing has commenced.
Perhaps they seek to chuck you.
Ministerial authority accepted. Where is the other side? System restoration. Controls reset.
Bonk.
The battle waits for us. Open the door.
Can I... Shortcut? Shortcut. Okay. The least buggy ability of all time. The Phobos helmet's coming back. I missed it the first time around. Well, there's going to be a community event this week for it, so... Or there should be. They're recycling cosmetics because I imagine they don't have a ton of new stuff that they're not trying to save for the patch. This is the best they can do for now.
The bomb pride. Tyranny is how nobody protects.
Just run me over.
Coordinate fire.
You...
Use that bow before it calls for reinforcement.
Okay.
War line spotted. Our adversary deluded. Our tactical superiority affects their numbers. Gun beast is no more. All fury and thunder, no tactics. Fester and rot, Xenon. Chaos abomination. Executing countermeasures. Second wave headed toward us. Green army.
Hey.
The Codex demands it.
Warp FTG in chat, what's the news? We have a Phobos helmet coming back. There's no PTS for patch 13, which means it's probably going to be released like mid next month or at the end of next month. You know, it's always funny to me people ask for like the release date for these patches all the time. And it's like, guys, the release schedule for all these patches has been the same every single time. Yet people still ask the question. It has never changed. It has always been 2-3 month gaps every time.
Changing magazine.
You get a PTS, maybe, and you get a patch. And the patch usually comes out in the same gap.
Objective on the other side. Munitions here.
I'm a paid chatter who will give me attention. We will do no such thing. "13 patches in, the question remains, yes, because pattern recognition is a very difficult skill for some. Calm down, take it to Prime.
Increasing responsibility. The galaxy is a better place with one less rabbit.
Who's asking all the questions? It's not people in this chat, it's just in general, like... You'd be shocked at how much people hound after release dates in like forums for this game. Not my chat, of course. We love you guys. Like, you go on the Focus forums, you see that shit all the time. It's like actually ever present. Complaining. And Dark Magic came to the Prime. Any suggestions on how to deal with low visibility and hard strat? Keep getting jumped by Chaos Spawn and dying? I mean, you make the 30-foot one? I mean... I think Chaos Spawn would be the easiest to deal with than that, though. They're not even range enemies.
Battle power unleashed. Fester and rot.
They keep saying smash for the jumping tentacles. Well, the indicator, if you're trying to find that out, I'll probably turn your sound up. That's the best advice I can give you. Turn sound up. You can also use the mark function on the targeting. For example, like this. That'll still work in the dark.
Munitions here.
Oh joy.
Inserting fresh magazine. No wrong way to kill a increasing responsibility. Fester and rot. Xenos abomination. Rearming. The Codex demands it. Changing magazine.
Probably see my grapnel here. What else we got over here?
Executing countermeasures.
Hey, we did it.
Monstrosity melted.
Let us rise up and into glorious battle.
Hey, you know about the community event? That's just what their community manager said.
Got a massing at the fortress.
They're doing one. They didn't give an exact date, but it should be next week.
Soaked in tyranid blood.
Take all you can carry.
This is a block or fencing. This is balanced. Nobody touches fencing axe anymore. That's old news. Fencing weapons predominantly kind of suck right now. Well, they don't suck, but if you're using fencing, you just take Argent Edge. Catch following yourself otherwise. Fencing needs a bit of a buff. I'm not gonna lie.
Tyranids have perhaps they seek to choke our rivers with their dead.
You are near the last cannons. You will need to find the manual controls to operate them. The control console is within sight.
Bonk. Will it be just one view operation in patch 13? Yeah.
Inserting fresh magazine.
Maybe a new siege mode map though. They might move that up from patch 15.
Defensive cannons active. Targeting system.
You never know.
Initializing
The updated roadmap's supposed to be pretty big.
It does bleed. The Titan launches its missiles. Let the Tyrannid's weapon take you.
A Xenos stealth tries to ambush us. Launch that bow before it falls on the coordinate fire.
Last units ready. Establish target on the sidearm to initiate offensive protocol.
The Tyrannid dares to attack us. Avoid the Tyrannid's explosion.
They just gave me all snipers and a bunch of ranged fucking dudes, and I have none of this. So hold on. Oh,
Awaiting target. Aim and fire with a sidearm to commence
fucking
attack.
surely I can hit him from here. Oh, I actually did. Hip fire. Yes, thank you for sending the most obnoxious enemies for this enemy. Very helpful game.
All specs ready. Aim with sidearm to complete attack.
The Titan launches its missiles.
This game focuses more on luxury than actual game content. What the fuck is that even supposed to mean? Isn't like it has DLCs? Or what? In what way is it not focused on actual game content?
Ah, it does bleed.
It's all range spam. Oh god.
The Tyrannid dares to attack us.
Oh, of course, this is the one guy I want to go over. My fault though, I forgot the okay. Do you have a melee sniper build that I've heard people playing? If you type in, you will. There is probably every single build ever. Every possible combination on this probably exists on this channel. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't think there is a build I have not used. Or made a video for. Maybe a couple. So if you type in melee sniper, sniper's perk tree has not really changed at all in like 3 patches, so you could literally go back to like patch 10, probably be like 90% the same. The only difference might be like, I don't think there would be melee sniper. It might be the primary. About it. Depends if you want like a bolt gun or a heroic bolt sniper.
The Codex demands it. Inserting fresh magazine.
What is coming back? The Phobos helmet's coming back, boys, next week. Or this month. Probably next week, though. Considering we're in the last week of this month. So I'd imagine like Monday or Tuesday we're in the community update and we're in a community event, and then patch 13 release sometime next month. I just heard a extremist spawn. I want to talk about the fact that how funny is it in Sergeant Matoris armor, you can't actually wear his most iconic armor piece of the Iron Halo because only Heavy is Iron Halo.
Witness the might of the Imperium. The tyranny dares to attack us. Ha! It does avoid the tyranny's expulsion.
Got a lot of value out of that pistol today. Dang. I want a juicy sim just for me. Don't mind me, hop, hop, hop. Thank you for conveniently not placing the massive artillery of green blobs directly on my head this time. Oh, I see. We get a different green blob. Ow. I'm doing it, I don't even care. HP be damned.
Our adversaries are going to lose again.
Unleash the Imperium's might.
Fortress control has been disrupted. Re-establish servers call and system communication.
The Titan launches its missiles.
Why they ditched the helm in the first place? Well, I mean, it's a limited time cosmetic, so like they want you to play the game and come back.
Servers call
Like this is a content strategy as old as time. Or I should say as old as gaming, really. Any live service game. Sorry, excuse me, Space Marine 2 is not a live service. According to a Tim, even though the interview that they said that in, they weren't even saying it wasn't necessarily a live service, but like then the community managers kept repeating it. There we go. The tedious end to an otherwise great mission. You're not wrong.
Balls. We have a clear shot on the towers. Take the shot on those damn towers and unleash.
Why do you think they're deciding against the PTS? Probably because the patch is just late. That's really all there is to it. They said Tech Marine came out later than they expected, so no PTS for this one. Probably means, number one, they want to release it around Warhammer Skulls next month, and number two, they're just behind schedule, and number three, they might be adding more shit to this one, and it's going to be a bigger patch than we originally expected, which might be the case with the updated roadmap. And because of that, they don't feel like wasting time with the PTS. They want to get it out like while the hype's up from Skulls. There we go. Can I play with you with stratagems? I'm not playing with viewers right now. I do sometimes, though. I was going to yesterday, but I wasn't on yesterday. Space Marine 2 is not a live service, has that there is no war embossing say energy. Goated Avatar reference, goated Avatar reference. Yeah, so first of all, I see people repeat this all the time, including the Focus community managers, and the Saber employee, or I should say the guy who actually, let me pull up the interview if I even can. Yes, it was the Chief Creative Officer of Saber Interactive, Tim Willidis, is the one who actually said this initially, and what he was talking about was, this is a direct quote from him. He said, so one thing that I think that Saber's done well is that we respect our players, we support our games through amazing free updates, and then also big paid updates. He said, but we don't nickel and dime people to death, and I think that they're like multiplayer games are supported over the long term. I don't really know if there's a term for that, so I don't want to say live service game, because when you think of a live service game, you think about buying individual items, but we do support our games as long as they're feasible to support. So it is a live service, I just don't want to call it a live service because they don't want to nickel and dime players, and live service is a bad connotation. That's the only reason. Like, for all intents and purposes, it is a live service game. It's just missing MTX. But also, MTX is not the definitional portion of a, you don't need like an MTX, like what do you call it, currency and shit like that, to actually be considered a live service. So like that's where this all comes from. And like, so whenever Focus community managers, who probably don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, come back and like quote the Chief Executive Creative Officer of Saber, that's probably the interview they're talking about. That's not really what he was talking about when he said initially the game is not a live service. The game is 100% a post-launch service game to some degree. It's just not like trying to nickel and dime players. Is the main takeaway. Which is true. That is definitely true. They don't want to call it a live service. I mean, sure. But, like, we're really just kind of... I mean, it's called a spade a spade. It's totally a live service. It's trying to monetize a post-launch player base on the promises of new content and future DLCs. They're late in trying to recoup time. Patch 13 was supposed to be Q1. That's true. It's also going to be a bigger patch, though, I think, than they initially intended. I think that's also true. Let's do some heroic chain sorting, shall we? You guys like the heroic chain sword? I know I do. Go dunk on the Trigon. What's the best tactical build? Probably Pyro-Blaster. Pyro-Blaster, Argent Edge, really any setup with that's going to work. Do we have any idea when Skulls 2026 will be? Next month. That is when. It is definitely next month. It's already confirmed for this year.
Atmospheric conditions are suboptimal to mission deployment and evacuation.
Peak.
This is as close as I can get you to the Longinus Gamma facility.
What was the first option on the operations menu? It's just a testing arena mod I have. That just lets you test all the damage numbers. They are adding a official practice arena next patch, but there is absolutely no fucking way it's gonna be better than one the PC has already.
Best to keep moving and stay together. Projecting a sense of tactical dominance may deter it from attacking. For now.
The Trigon stalks us, waiting for an opportune moment to strike.
Brace for the beast, but keep pressing forward.
The world this Xenos sought would few. Now we see it.
Have you played the campaign? Yes, I have indeed played the campaign. I played all the campaign. Played that on launch. I haven't played it since, really. Ow. Dude, I fucking hate the intro of this map. Getting drive-by'd by a Trigon is not particularly engaging.
Jump pack review. The Trigon breaches the sands.
You also play the tabletop. Favorite army? I'll give you one guess, but it'll probably be wrong. So the name would imply I'm a guardsman player, which I kind of am, but I also like Blood Angels more.
Synchronized movement and press forward. Make haste with singular purpose.
You play Kill Team as well. I haven't dabbled that much in the tabletop in like actual gameplay recently, just because I don't have time. But if I were to play again, it probably would be more Kill Team, just faster games. That's honestly where I would recommend most people start off is Kill Team. Steel Legion or Krieg, obviously Steel Legion. I've never been. I mean, I like Kriegspin. They're pretty cool. I'm not as big of a fan of them as like some people are though.
Position and fend off the beast.
I think Cadians are overrated. I think Cadians are the most boring guardsman faction. I'd rather play Vistroyan Guard than Cadians.
Synchronized movement and press forward. A buried creature approaches.
Cadians are just the most shit. They're just the, how would I explain KEYBINDS to somebody? They're just the Ultramarines of Guardsman factions. Is that fair to say, you guys think?
That pitiful Xenos was but a horrid blood. Swapping magazine. Right sword. Take heed.
What are the odds we go to Armageddon in Space Marine 3? At least one. Acadian fans were the worst, though. Sick and tired of hearing the planet broke before the guard did. W gatekeeping. W gatekeeping, brother. I mean, I feel like most Acadian fans are like newer fans of 40k. It's usually the first Guardsman faction people find out about. I don't think it's a problem. I have no problem with Acadian fans. I just think Acadians are like the Ultramarines of Guardsman factions. I just think they're way cooler ones the more you dig in. But that'll probably change more as more and more people get exposed to more and more of the 40k factions or the Imperium factions, because let's be real, Xenos factions are never going to be like top tier popular, because Imperium is just where everything's at. They do make for cool villains, like Necrons are quite popular for a Tyranid faction, Xenos faction.
Gifts from the Forge. It seeks to engage us, brothers.
FTG of Astroyan Guard Enjoyer, Unfathomably Base. Dude, that's who I rock in Dark Tide all the time when I play a Guardsman, it's Astroyan Guard. How would you not like them and they're giant Russian hats? So they like everything I like in Dark Tide, which is spamming plasma weaponry because I suck. And oh my god, that actually fucked me. Fucking Trigon, dude, can suck my ass. That Trigon, one hit from that Trigon was enough to do that to me. How annoying. That was actually frustrating. Okay. This is the only part of this mission I don't like. Like that shit. You prefer the ground strike build? I think it's more useful. I mean, Wings of Flame is just the best build right now for this class. It's like almost too good at the moment. The only place Zealous Blow is better now is in Siege. Just because of how many enemies there are, but for like practical gameplay, Wings of Flame is like actually just insane. I mean, you can take whatever weapon you want, because like the Heroic Chainsword here, not a very strong weapon in the game by comparison to all the other ones, but Wings of Flame is just so fucking nuts that it carries it through anything. Almost anything for a Trigon drive-by. Why is Saber so afraid of adding a heroic block weapon? I don't think they're afraid. Well, I think a huge portion actually is because when heroic weapons first launched for this game, the majority of this game's player base was crashing out of block. It was hard for them to use. So adding in block weapons in the first 2 patches of your brand new heroic tier when you're trying to bring new players into your game and giving them something that they can't use properly because they don't understand the game very well yet, probably not the best idea. Which is why fencing and balance were first. Or balance and fencing were first. Because balance is kind of like, a middle ground for damage and parrying, which is a lot easier to get by the brand new players than the block weapons that require you to know all the enemy movesets. That's the thing that makes a block weapon hard in this game, is that it simply requires more game knowledge. You have to know the movesets of the enemies. You kind of have to do that for parrying weapons too, but a parry stagger will just interrupt the entirety of Lictor's attack chain. Block won't do that for you. How do you go into the training room to see in your video? It's just a mod. It's called the testing menu. There's going to be an official testing arena mod, or not even mod, testing arena thing in patch 13. It will definitely not be as substantial as the mod is, but still better than nothing for consoles. What the first heroic weapons do anyways, well, this is one of them. You have the heroic chainsword. The other one. Yeah, heroic chainsword, xenophase blade, heroic bolt pistol. 3 others as well. Oh yeah, the heroic plasma. The times. And the Power Gladius. That was a good patch. I think patch 11's heroics were definitely better than patch 12. Or I should be patch 10. But patch 10 was definitely better. Last patch is probably the weakest lineup of heroics we've had. And not just because we only had 3. The 3 heroics from that patch were supposed to come out in this patch. They pushed them up a bit. The heroic bolt pistol was awesome until it wasn't. Not wrong, brother.
I trust you will hold this Ignoel Metrian accountable for her sins, mates.
So sad about the PTS news. I'm not too sad about the PTS news. I'm more sad that, I'm actually more happy, to be honest. I'd rather it come out around Warhammer Skulls anyways, because if there's a massive, massive gargantuan gap in this game all the time, because I imagine they're going to be doing a year 3 in, I don't even know, September again. Probably get more info on that pretty shortly here. Yeah, the cycling patch seems to be pretty big. I'm excited. Yeah, we'll see how... We'll see. It seems about the same size. Definitely not as big as a new class. I think it will do well. I don't think it's going to do remotely as well as patch 12, though. But patch 12, even if patch 12 was like a worse patch than this one turns out to be, like, I'll be honest, guys, I think patch 11 was better than patch 12 was. But patch 12 had a new class, and a new class automatically brings in more players than, like, pretty much anything else in a horde shooter. So that will probably be the most popular class, or excuse me, patch of this year. Like, even the launch of Siege Mode last year brought in like 33% fewer players than patch 10 and patch 12 did. It was about on par with patch 11. Wait, I didn't get that. Why are you happy about that? Because I think the PTS in this game, it takes away from the actual patch in a lot of cases, because the game usually gets solved before the patch even comes out. So this is an issue that happens in games like Path of Exile all the time, is that you'll get a big patch for the game that will come out, right? And it'll be solved in like 2 seconds because there's like an early access or something like it. Something similar. And that's an issue that keeps happening because they don't change enough from the PTS. Like, it's mostly bug fixes. So what winds up happening is the heroics get revealed, everybody sees the new heroic weapons, everybody uses the new heroic weapons, and they're like, okay, they're going to change like maybe 20% of the things about them. Maybe rarely they'll change like one perk to be majorly different. But at that point, most players have already seen the new patch. They already know what's going to be good in the new patch. The patch is effectively solved. And it comes out, everybody gets the stuff they want, they already know all the builds are going to be good. And then they're stuck waiting. And as somebody who's been making content for pretty much every single patch of this game, I can promise you that the overall community reaction to patches that don't have a PTS is significantly different from patches that don't. Because like the entire community finds out everything about the patch together. That's what happened with patch 10. The progression system in patch 13, yes.
Forward! We dare not be late to apprehend this Mitri.
I'm never a fan of early access for games in general. I'm just not. It's kind of it's like a personal thing for me, where I just feel like it takes away from the actual game. Hey FTG, how many ops do you think there'll be by the end of year 2? I mean, just look at the roadmap. I should probably answer that question.
I observe you still pathetically cling to views of soft tissue. Remember, meat lacks efficiency, whereas metallic alloy is stable of corrosion and degradation for far longer.
How far you have fallen. That I must drag you back into the fight.
New progression system's gonna be the new voice lines. Gotta hold on to your butts. Hold on, what? I've also heard something about a cosmetic rework. Yeah, there's supposed to be a new customization feature, they said. Whatever that means. Maybe they're talking about perk loadouts, dude. Who knows? Who knows?
Disconnect her synaptic tethers from the facility command terminals. Stand firm. I expect her to route Xenos to assault your locus.
Hold this territory.
PTS should have never been a thing, period. But at last, this is the world. Alas, this is the world we live in. I agree. I don't think PTS is good for this game. Especially since in many cases it feels like we're pushing back the actual patch. And also the changes from the PTS to the main patch are generally not that substantial, outside of like gargantuan bug fixes, and that's about it. I also think it creates an inherent disconnect between the console player base and the PC player base, where PC players will get all of this stuff early, and then they'll be bored when the actual patch comes out.
To the summation of our divine arithmetic from long ago. Remember Project Zeta 6?
As my theorems predicted, your life vector has converged with renegade factors, and Zeta 6 was a waste of computational resources and one perfectly good promise. Surrender now, and perhaps leniency can be granted. After the mind probes, of course.
You are a redundant functionary. Your Astarte shall die in the dark.
I like how I'll pretend that was the Heroic Chain Sword, not the Wings of Flame. Wings of Flame's cracked. Heroic Chain Sword, eh. It's alright.
Power cell on my locus.
The generator requires a power cell.
At least this game is in a much better place than Darktide. I mean, Darktide is in a pretty good spot.
Avenging angels
Darktide's just a more niche title.
like hounds in the center of the
Space Marine 2 is always going to be more popular than Darktide, though, just on account of, like, for the most part, it'll be more popular. RBD's actually hit higher player counts than any patch post-launch for Space Marine 2. But a huge part of that's just that RBD's is, like, a big announcement at Warhammer Skulls and all that, which is probably what they're going to do for something else. Like, if they had released Tech Marine in the summer, it probably would have done significantly better, because, like, a bunch of people would be home for summer break and stuff like that. Or on their vacation time. It did otherwise. So RB's definitely benefited from that.
jump pack review.
Return to Metrian's containment unit. See, Metrian, the more you thrash, the deeper you set our course.
Another alien falls. Swapping back. Its Xenos brain did not grant it the wisdom to flee. Avenging angels. Right to the door. The world this Xenos sought to consume now consumes itself. Jump pack refuel.
You hate the Wings of Flame setup. It's the highest skill version of Assault. It doesn't click for me at first slam build because I often get jetpack can't activate bug. I mean, that's why I usually recommend players just take Zealous Blow if you're starting out. Like, what's best in a game isn't always necessarily what's most fun. In this case, I think Wings of Flame is also really fun. But that being said, I think Zealous Blow is definitely better if you're starting out because the thing just kind of, you know, you see a Minotaur's Horde, you go up, you go down, do it again. Repeat until enemy dead.
Pilot, Viridian is ready for evacuation. Sending updated extraction coordinates to you now, Viridian.
Yes, I know a lot of people are disappointed there's no public test server this time around, but guys, it's a hidden victory, really. Assuming the patch doesn't come out, like, horrifically buggy. Like, why would that ever happen?
Not even this interminable storm dampens our chapters.
No PTS only means patch 13 sooner. Or-
Tunneling seas follows tread Xenos hunger is insatiable, but the Imperials don't. I'm airborne. I am the righteous Lord. Order returns very soon. The Xenos infestation is steady. Jump pack refuel. Angel of death. You, man up, brother. Try to inform us. Healing wounds.
Oh wow, I really thought I was gonna kill him. That's cool.
Avenging angel will expose me. The world this Xenos sought to consume now consumes. Let us see firepower.
Wow, the bramble's fucking gone.
I'm airborne ready. Commencing reload.
Now I remember back when this shit used to home on you like crazy in this game.
Jump pack refuel. Power clutch.
That was not that's just a reaction issue.
Who dares grapple with an star? The Imperium's hammer rises to strike.
I have a waste of my hack.
The Xenos scum shall remain behind. The ground rumbles no. Reloading magazine. Avenging angel will expose you. Jump pack refuel. Let this harassing alien hunter over.
Okay. We need lightning claws, man. I wouldn't hold my breath for that one. Probably not gonna see lightning claws until like Space Marine 3. Okay. Customization of AI bots would be nice. Appearance plus levels. They said it's not a priority for them.
Brothers, together
They did say it's possible, but it's definitely not a priority for them. What's the community event news? We're gonna have a Phobos helmet again.
I cannot land without borrowing abomination lurking about. Deep scans have penetrated the atmospheric disturbances and Metrian's meddling code.
Alright, there we go.
Trigon vulnerability data pushed to your displays.
The Imperium demands the Trigon's extermination. their tongues shut. Leave no unholy aberration alive, brothers. Sterilize these burrows of Cenos. Careful, ready.
Right. I try to kick him in the face at the last second.
Another alien. Avenging angels. Cenos assails us.
Way to get the perfect dodge on that. Awkward.
Trigon kill confirmed.
Alright, there we go. That one was a freebie. Do you think the Xenophase Blade is better on Assault or Bulwark? You know, this is one of the situations where I actually think it's better on Assault, because Assault kind of circumvents a lot of the issues of balanced weapons. I think the Bulwark really benefits from, like, block weapons and zero-frame startups thanks to Intimidating Aura, where, like, there are times where, like, you simply will not get a trigger of this perk off on a balanced weapon. I mean, in Siege mode, I'd probably still take a balanced weapon here just for the cleaving potential, but, like, for Ops, I would probably just take Block. They're both very strong, though. But as far as, like, this weapon goes, Xenophase isn't that good in the first place. At least not, like, I think it's much better in Assault. I really do. The only problem I have with Assault right now is that all of his builds kind of feel the same, where it's like, okay, what are we playing today? Well, it would appear we're playing Power Axe. What are we going to use for perks? The same thing we've used every single other time because they're the only good ones in the game right now. That's more of an issue in the game right now in general, where it's like some perk combos are just drastically stronger and more fun than others. So like Precision Strike is fun. Like this is a fun build. Don't get me wrong, but it kind of sucks ass compared to Wings of Flame Fury Strikes. Isn't it the same with Heavy? Heavy's the greatest offender of this, is that his perk combos are just like, okay, this is probably the best setup on him, period, in this game. Our fuel adjustment or power regulator, and then like maybe you take additional supplies. Like for the most part, this is like just the setup. Like these are your perk choices, really. Like, do you want this? I guess like Adamant Will's not bad. The Sack of Execution just better. Like as far as like which perk in this column's the best, people like simp for this one all the time. Strategic Stance. Perk is good. Fortitude's just way better. Absolute facts on the Assault build opinion. Yeah, it's just like Wings of Flame's just so good right now. Ridiculous. He has some good perk choices over here. Like you can take Overcharge. I don't think anything here like fundamentally changes the way he plays that much though. The gear tree does. Like Zealous Blow makes you play completely differently. Wings of Flame makes you play completely differently. But you just take this perk. This should be a passive. This perk should just be a fucking passive, but it's not. Anywho, what are next? What play next? What do? Fire cannon? Let us see. I don't know the last time you made a Pyre Cannon build video was, probably months ago. I actually like the Pyre Cannon. I ain't gonna lie. I do think it's pretty fun. Oh, we could do a Heroic Chainsword Vanguard build. Could do some Pyre Blastering. You guys like the Pyre Blaster? For all those people that say the Pyre Blaster isn't good against Chaos, this will learn them. All-American hero, son of Gilliman. Just missing the red. On the Aquila, give him a little ultramarine thingy. Look at that. Oh yeah. It's all come together. This looks goofy as fuck when you have like two shoulder pieces. We'll do it this way. I'm a Salamander and Blue Angels guy, and I have a full chapter with them. I like to paint. I don't even know how to play the tabletop. That's the neat part. Nobody actually plays tabletop. Everyone just paints models. Tabletop? You guys actually play tabletop? Hold on. People don't play the tabletop for 40k, dude. They just paint models. Which is your favorite individual perk in terms of like what perk generates value that I enjoy in game when the math says that it's good? Probably Secure Stockpile. What colors are we repping? This is a Son of Gilliman. The Sons of Gilliman. How important would you say the training arena was to the quality of your gameplay? The actual quality of my gameplay? Well, actually, that's been a diminishing thing since the game came out, really. There was like, I feel like you know how like a stock market will like hit a peak and then like drop off? That's me. But as far as the quality of the gameplay goes, I would say that's more so game knowledge than anything else. I mean, it helps to know more, but Space Marine 2 is like not really that demanding of a game in terms of like mechanical skill in the first place for most builds and most content. So I probably not a ton. Maybe with like a couple builds it helped.
But you will need my assistance in placating such an ancient machine spirit.
Assist the Adeptus Mechanicus in launch preparations and await our targeting guidance to last. We should be on the ground shortly.
The most demanding build in the game right now is probably Wings of Flame Assault.
As you command, Lieutenant.
It's probably Wings of Flame Assault and then Bulwark with animation canceling. Those are probably the two most demanding in terms of actual execution. And then if you count aiming, which I would say heroic full sniper. Especially against chaos. What up, FTG and gang? What is up, Stolas? Yeah, boss, I'm gonna play Thunderhammer Bulwark when I feel like it. God, Argent Edge is so peak. Want to ask about your PC build, dude? We play this game on Nintendo Switch actually, and if you look into the short stream, we actually play it on mobile. We're on iOS. The devs hyped up the assault buff only to make assault buff more support Wings of Flame build where every other assault build. Well, the real buff was the commitment perk. The animation cancel is fundamental to all builds now, even without Wings of Flame. But yes, I do agree. I mean, Zealous Blow is still just as good as it was before. Wings of Flame is just kind of insane.
Traitorous scum don't deserve this death.
Bet my fire's better than his. Especially if he doesn't choose gun. Okay, it's not their fault Armin turned their brains into dust. One arm should be white, son of Gilliman. Thank you, Codex Connor. Thank you for telling me. I'll put that in the mental bank of them action today. I'm kidding. There have been some people that go a little far though, so it's kind of funny.
The taint of the warp enfeebles them.
You have a YouTube video on the most updated how to animation cancel on different classes. Well, only 2 classes are capable of animation canceling in the first place, outside of like a basic parry. And I have a full guide on them that talks about that. So yes, the answer is yes. If you want to animation cancel on any class though, it's like your parrying will animation cancel. That's all you have to do.
We must slay this little spawn. A heretic terminate. Sounded with righteous fury.
Perish.
Our eyes need no longer gaze at this atrocity.
Thank you. Also, have you ever thought about doing class guides for the 3 classes they have in the Astartes overhaul? Dude, I'm not making a Astartes overhaul video. I did a breakdown of the Terminator class once, but probably not. I don't think Astartes overhaul really needs class breakdowns, first of all, because the game just isn't that hard. And also, it's not something like a lot of people are even playing. PC exclusive thing. It's hard enough to make class guides for the classes that actually exist in like the base game. Argent Edge or Power Gladius, they're probably two equivalent weapons for different reasons. I would say the Argent Edge is a bit better for like super hard content sometimes just because it's safer, but Power Gladius can also one-shot bosses. In Siege mode on pack, you just take Argent Edge because the Power Gladius falls off at a certain point. That might not be the case next patch, but for now it is. The breakpoints fall off in the Power Gladius after like wave 20, 25. Where you can no longer one-shot a boss, even with their standard HP, because in Siege mode, the bosses have a lower HP than they do in Absolute. But there's more of them.
Let us march unhindered. The armory provides.
Arachnid.
Fresh supplies for our use.
Thoughts on the save the sniper class? In your opinion, do you think it's viable for solo? Well, it's been soloed every single patch, so yeah. There's not a single class that can't be solo in this game. Sniper's one of the better ones, actually. Worst class for solo at the moment is probably Tech Marine. He just runs the risk of like spontaneous combustion. This class can be pretty rough for solo sometimes, but not on this build. We say, assuming we don't die. Whatever, go down. Opinion on the PTS being cancelled? I think it's a good thing for the game. I think the PTS usually takes away from the patch. Well, I'll give you my perspective on this, where when I play PTS, I'm probably playing it for like 100, 200 hours. I have 600 hours on the PTS server and 4,000 hours on the main game. So like, you know, that's a substantial amount of time playing the the potential patch. And having like 600, 700 hours on a public test server, it's like when the actual patches come out half the time. I mean, obviously I play them to like level up my stuff and like buy the new items in game, but I don't really feel like I'm playing anything new most of the time. I also think they take away from like the fun of like a new patch, because when you have early access images for something, that's one thing. When you have a bunch of people playing a game early, and then suddenly that new version of the game is taken away, and then it re-releases for everybody, it's not a very fun experience, especially for PC players, in my opinion. What about the rumors of a Chaos Siege mode? I mean, I think people are coping, are big time coping on Chaos Siege mode. Maybe there will be, but that would require like a backtrack by Games Workshop.
To his faithful, he provides.
But Focus has been pretty adamant that a Siege mode is not coming for Chaos. Or not even a Siege mode, a Chaos from not coming to PvE in this game. And the voice lines that leak that people keep talking about, those are probably for the new injector for the PvP, because there is going to be a big PvP update coming. Not that anybody plays fucking PvP in this game. Maybe they will after that. Never know. Probably not. I can't imagine that Saber's going to be like, and now we finally rework all of PvP, guys. Get ready. Fair point, it's highly unlikely, but hopefully the cancellation means we might get the patch earlier. I mean, we're already at the point where you'd probably get a new patch anyways, so I wouldn't really consider this earlier. It's just, we're just on schedule. If anything, the PTS is going to be late. That's a big thing. Because they would have had to release a PTS, like, in the next 3 days. And then after that, we wait a month and we get at the end of May, and that's still like in line with prior release schedules.
It is as grotesque death.
Cheat tools killed PvP games for me. Like, why bother when some Russian and Chinese kids are gonna wall hack me from their spawn? Yeah. There are a disproportionate amount of cheaters on like Russian and Chinese servers for games. A huge problem in Tarkov too.
I shall remain here and guarded to deter any enemy forces from following you.
Our brethren barricaded this entrance to stop.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about the PvP in this game.
Commune with the crane.
That's not
and
obvious.
engage it to remove the obstructions. Remove the blockage at once.
I'm pretty sure I played 45 minutes of PvP. Maybe an hour and a half and 4,000 hours in this game. That's definitely not what I bought the game for. Put it that way.
Crane engaged. They come, brothers. My Auspex reads multitudes.
1,000 hours in the game, I haven't touched the PvP once. I mean, it's just not like... If I was going to play PvP in a game, it's definitely not going to be this one. I'd rather play PvP in Dawn of War.
The crane requires attention.
The crane requires you to perform
Oh, it's a completely
rites
different type of
restoration.
game, but...
Seek out the crane's twin generators and locate their consoles. Then, awaken them in the correct sequence.
Extermination has come. Put down that mutant. Hurry not. We must repair the crane controls.
Purge. There I go purging again. What's a little purge among the flamers, right guys? Hey you can come over here. Up, up, up. Yes. 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 Ow.
Hurry not. We must repair
Ow.
the crane controls.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do I hear something? No. Let's spin the wind. Stay right there and be purged. Thank you. You too.
Victory goes to the righteous. Hurry not. We must repair the crane controls. Fiery retribution done.
Maybe not the best use of an Auspex here, but might as well, right? Get that shit on cooldown, you know, optimal use.
Must repair the crane controls.
Watch the helper just pop out of nowhere now. Pew. Pew, pew, pew.
Show these heretics of the further torment. Good.
Tactical Assault is the best comp for Siege, still is, yes. Has been for multiple patches now. Really since patch 10, that's probably been true. Once they added Chaos Spawn in the game. Before that, not so much, because Rubik Marines. Like the Chaos was just less comp than it is now. Still a very strong comp, but patch 9 definitely was when Assault went up in the rankings, because the initial one we did a year ago was a heavy... was prior to the melee buff and the assault buff, so like heavy was just the only real option for damage at that point. Because all the melee classes were significantly weaker. We were still stuck on Artificer, Block, Power Fist, and now you can go way higher than that. Like multiple teams have shown you can go to 45 plus, Hated 52, and it's probably, you can probably go to like 55 now, or 53, even beyond. It'd be hard though. But we'll see what they do next patch. Vanguard works fine as well. Yeah, Vanguard's fine. I mean, Siege has been power crept a little bit. Not like a ridiculous amount. The biggest power creep happened in like patch 9, when all the melee weapons got buffed up. And some of the new heroics as well, I would say, in patch 12. Like the Argent Edge have definitely helped out a lot of the classes for Siege mode now. Also, you know, balance buffs on the melee weapons and stuff like that. But I'd say the biggest boon was probably Chaos Fun. That really changed how a lot of the entire Chaos faction functions now.
The taint of the warp enfeebles them. Prepare yourselves. Blockage is no more.
Block is still the best. Block is pretty fucking good. I think it depends though. Like for tactical, I think Argent Edge is probably the best on him right now. This is a really dangerous spot on this map. You are just, like, you're at the mercy of range spam here. Look at this shit. Oh, he just body blocked that, you fuck. Okay, well, my secure stockpile is OP, by the way. Like Call of Duty taught me that one. A little martyrdom. Say, when I die on this map, it's like 90% of the time in this spot. Like, getting down that fucking tunnel in your attack or tech marine can actually just be death. That was a series of unfortunate events, that's okay. Can I play Block Hammer Assault next? Probably could do that. Block Hammer Assault's actually pretty fucking fun. But guess which lineup you take? Oh yeah, it's Wings of Flame. It's always Wings of Flame now. The only thing I don't like about the Block Hammer is that your ground slams kind of suck. But that's like the only downside. Your weapon's quite slow. You know, back in the day, the Block Hammer's speed was like literally 1 when they first dropped it. They actually buffed it up. People complain so much. They're like, what the fuck? They made a Thunder Hammer 1 speed. How ridiculous is that? Pretty much makes only the Aftershock usable on it. I know Bulwark is less popular now. I used to have to switch to Tactical a lot for group play, but lately I always get my favorite class. Do you think it has become less popular? No, it has definitely not become less popular. Tactical is also the most popular class in the entire game. At least it was as of like 3 months ago, so I imagine that's a change. What's the build for Vanguard if you're doing Siege? The #1 Melter Rifle. You still take Unmatched Zeal. If you're trying to push really high on Vanguard and Siege, you kind of just have to take... You use the Vanguard for healing, and you take a Bulwark with you for, like, concussive shield force and stuff like that. You might even be... You always take attack. But, like, Vanguard would swap out for the Assault in that case. You would probably do it very high. So, if we're talking about average play, and you're not trying to push, like, ridiculously high waves, it really doesn't matter that much as long as you just take a Melter Rifle, Power Axe, maybe even an Argent Edge at times, if you really want to. And you play as, like, a team support. In high-level play, it's a little bit different. But I imagine if you're asking that question, that's probably not what you're after anyways.
Eternal damnation awaits you. Cut down that corrupt terminator.
But the #1 thing I would say with Vanguard is take a Melter Rifle, because otherwise you'll run out of ammo in like 2 seconds. He is not a very ammo efficient class, and the Melter Rifle is actually a very ammo efficient weapon. Right, you all die. Yes. I hope it was painful. Yeah, you think in like a 1x1 corridor would be fine, but unfortunately, they all have flamethrowers. Okay, finally. The cruelest part is over. Is the damage increase on the heroic Omniscient Axe known? It's known, it's just not very good. You're better off just using a balanced weapon. I had some people try to tell me like you run faster with the Omniscient Axe heroic version. That's not true. I swear to God, some people are like just straight up peddling lies about weapons in the game. Do you think we'll see Ripper Swarms added? God, I fucking hope not. That's an insane campaign.
With molten flame shall we smite them.
What's more optimal for heavy using a heavy bolter, the heroic version or the accuracy version? It's the heroic version is leagues and bounds better than every other heavy bolter for so many reasons. #1, you can get like a 75% bonus parry window with a fencing window, which means that you will just not get frame trapped for every other heavy build. I mean, literally every other heavy build will. And also, the heroic heavy bolter has 0 startup on its max fire rate, which means you're actually doing your full DPS immediately. Oh my God, blessed by the Emperor. Guardian Relic. And a stint. Wow, we're back. It's like nothing happened. It has more speed, so you move faster. Dude, some people just say bogus shit in this game. Like, not even just like, oh man, I had like one misconception. It's like literally just a multi-paragraph misconceptions. I got the Argent Heavy Bolt and Reinforced Bolter. What should I pick next? Argent Edge making you move faster, yeah, dude. Takes you to the Argent edge of your screen. What's the community event? Community event comes out next week. We know it's going to have the new Phobos helmet again, or the old Phobos helmet from 6 months ago again. But as far as what happens now in the Siege mode, I mean, Siege mode might not even have, like... It might stop. It might have, like, a hard cap mode. They said the matches for Siege mode are supposed to be shorter and more intense, which just makes it sound like Siege mode will have fewer waves, and they'll remove the timer. Because I imagine Saber probably has the metrics on Siege mode, and they're like, how many people play past wave 25? And it's probably like 5%, if that. Alright, that's not what I wanted. Okay. It only almost killed me. Siege mode needs some adjustments. I think it has potential. I got to wave 19, so that's what I mean. The issue with Siege mode right now is, like, the whole endless wave shit is literally there to kill you before the game crashes. Like, you will almost guaranteed either get timed out or die before the game crashes. And sometimes it crashes anyways. That's the whole reason it's there. Now, at one point they said they were going to remove the timer one day, because they're going to figure out how to do it. I think that's baloney, because I think this game's still running spaghetti code. So they're probably going to do the alternative, which is just make it a set amount of waves, like you go up to 25, and that's it. And then remove all the other shenanigans. And probably just up the enemies in those waves. So it feels like more like a proper progression, you know? Have they fixed Siege from crashing? I don't think they'll ever properly... First of all, this game crashes all the time anyways. Well, not all the time. This game already has crashing issues in base, and Siege mode is just pretty obviously more enemies than the game is actually designed for. That worked in SM1, if I remember correctly. I never really played the Exterminators in SM1, but that would make sense. I feel like they bit off a little bit more than they could chew with the amount of enemies they put in Siege mode. The game really suffers from performance issues. The boss waves especially, the more boss waves you get, but like by the time you're at like wave 40, wave 35, anything beyond that, your game is just lagging like crazy.
Safety protocols prevented from moving without an attendant. Lead it along the tracks to the junctions.
It got so bad that when Hayes was doing his run for Siege mode, he just started taking Duelist on the, he started to take Duelist on the Assault class, not because the parrying on Assault is that hard, but because your ping or your effective delay in parrying becomes so shit at a certain point in time. That's just helpful to have. Ow.
There are several consoles for managing the tracks nearby. You must perform the appropriate alignments to achieve the desired geometry. Assuming they possess the ability
You'll now perish.
Surely the ultramarine screen benefits from reasoning and spatial awareness.
Considering this planet theirs, I have my
You have to get hit by a classic, which is called Burn plus Auspex. Oh yeah, nigga. You are fucked. You ever seen your HP get... Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Told you. When's the update for the Iron Hand stuff? Patch 13. You'll be getting 4 unique armor parts for it. You'll be getting 4 unique armor parts, probably a chest piece, 4 successor chapters, 12 new decals for like all the clans of the Iron Hands, and then an Iron Hands champion skin for the Tactical and Tech Marine, or just like pieces will be on Tactical, the actual thing will be for the Tech Marine, and it'll probably be an Iron Father.
Is this the glory Magnus promised you?
What does that helmet look like? It looks like the thumbnail you clicked on to get on the screen. That's what the helmet looks like. It's the one on the thumbnail. I figured Siege would be better if it was like Years of War Horde mode. Listen, most things would be better in PvE if they were like Years of War Horde mode. To be fair, but yes, I agree. Having actual... Well, Siege mode is not really a Siege mode, is it? It's more of like an arcade wave thing. That was the most hyped update. I think they honestly just fumbled Siege mode forever. I'm gonna be real. I mean, that's a hot take, guys, but I don't think there's anything they're gonna be able to do to ever bring back Siege mode as like the game mode they wanted it to be long term. Maybe if they add Heretic Astartes and like proper fortifications, but if they haven't done that within a year, I don't know. Maybe that's a little Debbie Downer. I just feel like Saber's not. It's not really in Saber's creative backtrack. Or not backtrack. Their creative track log. Backtrack log. You know what I mean? Their creative history to like make something that substantial post launch. Any leaks for the new gun? It's going to be an SMG. Secondary. Maybe a Stormbolter. I prefer to grab pistol personally. If they were to do that, but alas. It was not meant to be, chat.
The Omnissiah has blessed you with
Yeah, look at these little
abundance of
guys.
power. Perhaps in the machine god's infinite wisdom, they permit the transgression you're about to commit.
Do not speak
You
beyond your
buffoon.
ken,
Perish now.
Seer. It does not take a logist to see this is an act of desperation.
Ah, yes. It's the fuck you battalion.
One stays with the servo carriage.
You're about to be lured. Dumbass. Ran right into it.
One stays with the servo carriage.
Well, they probably didn't think the game would do what it did, so they weren't prepared initially. I mean, they probably, the reality is they probably put most of their money that they could have put into this game into Space Marine 3, which is honestly the best choice. I know there's like a lot of whining that goes on about this in Space Marine 2's community, but like, do you want a really good Space Marine 3, or do you want like a live service Space Marine 2 to be popping the entire time? We'll see how Space Marine 3 actually turns out. Personally, I would rather Space Marine 3 be as good as it can. They put their money towards that.
War and blood. Vengeance. Serve the Emperor.
But it's not that the content drops have been bad for this game. But Space Marine 2, I don't know. Saber makes a lot of fucking games, guys. Like, Toxic Commando just came out. This company's a little strange. They definitely didn't allocate as much as I think they should have towards 40K, because, like, this is basically their cash cow. Thanks for the answers, no problem. I live to serve and such. I'm much like a servitor. fact. Just as lobotomized, for being honest. I'd like them to put some ranking system and also some battle pass for some additional rewards and worth it to grind. There's going to be no ranking system in this game. Made for PvP, but like, if Dark Tide said no to a ranking system, there's no way the far more casual Space Marine people will ever do that. And a battle pass, you already have a season pass. I don't think they're going to change this game's monetization scheme at all. They'll probably change Space Marine 3. Chaos spawn in front of me. For some reason I kept thinking my rating impact's gonna go off, and there's no reason to believe that right now. Probably depend on the aspects of it.
One stage with the soul of courage.
If you do build for like all balance distribution here, this is where the Pyroblaster can actually be better, because of the actual direct damage. Which right now I'm not taking the plasma boost. A lot of guys this mission. It is funny to me that people constantly bring up like, I want a battle pass, I want this to add to my game. It's like, the gaming communities have been so gaslit into like wanting all the things that like these mega corporations like Activision have kind of just like forced down your throat in every game title, and it's been copied ever since. Because like what happens is, Activision will put something in Call of Duty will make a fuck $1 million, and then every other company is like, we want a fuck $1 million, and they start putting the battle passes into their games. Then that's why we got like a battle royale craze for a while, is because everybody saw like, wait, PUBG did this, and then Activision's like, wait a second guys, we have fuck you money, we can just make Call of Duty Warzone. And then Epic Games is also like, we also have fuck you money. Oh, what's that one Fortnite thing we have? Let's make that a battle royale.
Heretics, witches, purged with righteous hatred.
Like, really, in any business, it is incredibly difficult to get rid of an established company. It's like, even though Microsoft Office sucks ass and their CEOs consistently make ridiculously bad decisions, they're still one of the most successful companies ever. And they always make it out of, like, every financial crisis. But they're part of the ecosystem. Just how the shit goes. Love them or hate them, they're everywhere.
Our foes push to overwhelm us. Stop them! Endless are the legions of mankind. Drift back to your path.
Too big to fail. It's true.
We must slay this hellspawn. Do not let that one conjure reinforcements. Cast your attention to the Zandor Spearmen. Their numbers are meaningless to us. You traitorous scum do not deserve us.
Hey, it's tactical, and every day you see one of those. Well, I mean, it is the most popular class in the game, so like you probably would see one of those every day. Any guess when patch 13 drops? There's no PTS. I mean, it's almost certainly coming next month. They probably want to drop it around Warhammer Skulls. A lot of fucking guys, man. What is going on? What am I playing? The hardest difficulty or something?
Vessel is almost ready, Lieutenant. Hold for our signal. Transmitting targeting signal now. It is weak, but we have it. Lock target.
Your data is clouded, Lieutenant. Maintain close proximity to targets.
Reactor is primed for ignition. The vessel is ready. May this machine service be forever remembered. The Atreus is ready to taste vengeance once more. Lock target now.
Routing signal data through telemetry systems.
Okie dokie.
Numerous errors detected due to signal
Riveting.
interference. Calculating trajectory.
Mission accomplished.
You haven't seen any horde modes from Call of Duty? Have you never heard of Call of Duty Zombies? Like one of the biggest horde shooters ever. Oh, it was Rage Bait. Oh, okay. I see. I've been had, dude. I got one guide. I believed he was. I thought that was actually a no calf comment. Battle passes, they're trash. Yeah, people keep buying them, so they keep getting put in things. Okay. Let us. 70,000 damage. Definitely felt like a 70,000 damage game. Can't lie. There's more cosmetics are earned through in-game challenges. There'll probably be more heroic cosmetics next patch. That will probably be happening. Guys, let me use the bathroom real quick, then we'll keep playing. What are do next? Thank you, helpful servitor. The servitor of my trust. Yes, I am quite the servitor, aren't I? Okay, let's go into lobotomy and everything. I might call it there for now, guys. I might be back on later tonight, but we'll see. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hanging out.